Hey guys, Nate and Scott, our buddy Ryan. Today we're going to show you how to make sure your kick serve is actually kicking. Hey Internet, today we are showing you how to make your serve finally kick. Today's instruction is a little bit more advanced. It's for Play Your Court players with a rating of 80 and above. Today helping us, showing us how to hit these massive...
Speaking of above.
Today we have a tree that is helping us with instruction. Current student Ryan Charles that is playing at George Mason University Division I school.
And you thought we were going to teach you kick serves. We're actually just going to tell you what he eats so that you can eat
Everything.
the same thing and grow to be really tall.
Right? Yeah, so today guys, exciting stuff, a little bit more advanced. Scotty, tell us, what are we talking about? What's the difference here between a topspin serve and a kick serve?
For sure. There's a lot of confusion here. I think a lot of us learn what they think is a kick serve, and it's actually a topspin serve. The difference between the two, a topspin serve, just like a topspin ground stroke, rolls end over end and doesn't kick in any direction. A true kick serve, if you're doing this correctly, a righty, for example, on the ad court, not just bounces up, but up and out. That's why it's called a kick serve, because it kicks up and out.
Yep, so guys, that's going to be the big difference, and we're talking about two very, very different things. One that's a collegiate level serve that goes all the way up the ranks of the ATP, WTA that everybody has, and then ones that, you know, are a little bit more accessible to the recreational player. We're going to show you right now, we're going to show you progressions and exercises and the key concepts to get this ball to kick, to get your serve to the next level. Let's jump right into it.
And don't be scared, if you're not 7'5", this will still work for you as well.
Okay guys, so we're going to show you everything you need to develop this kick serve, and we're talking about that high performance kick serve, not just, you know, getting the ball to push up, really getting the ball to kick out. But we're not going to fool you into thinking that this happened overnight. Ryan's worked really hard at this, and really it's conceptualizing it, it's working through progressions, all right, and then it's even stuff that you're doing outside of the tennis court, like off the tennis court in the gym, that's helping to improve this. All right, so the very first thing we're going to cover are the exercises, and the kettlebell is like one of my favorite here. All right, if you can do a pulse up, right? My old coach used to call them throwing the bomb. You know, it's kind of like football. But the idea here is like if you're not using your leg, right, it becomes more of like a tricep exercise. But as soon as I incorporate my lower leg and firing the hip, right, now I'm onto something. Now I'm getting to where it makes a whole lot more sense to apply this to a kick serve. So an exercise that we have Ryan do is actually, we get him in a serving position. All right, so if you set up RC, we're gonna set this back behind him. All right, and the important part here is that Ryan is going to isolate his upper body, his left side, okay? So what we're focusing on is this rotational force. So he's gonna drop back, he's gonna grab the kettlebell, he's gonna twist, and he's going to push up. And so what's really important here is you can see the heel is off the ground and he's firing through the leg. Let's do that one more time. Careful with those knees. We want to make sure the knees are tracking in the same direction. So he twists and he goes up. All right, so I'll trade your kettlebell, your 7-pound kettlebell.
Oh, my prize collection.
It's taken him a long time to work up to 7 pounds. We had to borrow this today, so no judgment out there. But so now that we have the kettlebell out of the way, we're going to incorporate an exercise with throwing, and this has to be accredited to Mark Kovacs. Our good friend Will Hamilton with Fuzzy Yellow Balls has worked a lot with Mark Kovacs, who is the head of sports science with the USTA, working with a lot of the Americans on tour, helping them with things just like improving the kick serve. So in this exercise, same thing, working through that rotational force, loading that back leg, firing, and working through. All right, would be a little bit better if he isolated the left shoulder a little bit more, but definitely got some firing off the ground, okay? So before he does it again, what I want you to pay attention to is the firing of the back hip, and this is important because it's the same thing like the way a rocket works, right? We have to get this booster to where the leg is firing through the ground, right? And then that energy that's exchanged through the kinetic chain up through the hip, that hip getting rotational force through the hip and then getting shoulder over shoulder is where he's going to get all this massive power that makes the kick, the serve kick in the nature that it does. So one more time here. He fires up. All right, pretty good. All right, so those are a couple exercises that are going to absolutely help you feel the rotation that you need, because we're assuming, guys, that you're out there, you're at least, you know, whether you're 4-0, 4-5, a 5-0, you need more kick. You've got the basics, right? You're getting spin, all right? Now it's getting it to kick. So now we're going to show you how, kind of the key elements on it, but we're going to backtrack it. So maybe you don't have that great of a kick serve. Maybe you're simply just rolling it in. We're going to take it step by step now and show you every single element that makes this serve so great. All right, so the first progression, guys, is we're going to talk about the contact and what the racket needs to be doing to the ball. All right, now we're not going over every single detail. This is assuming that you're already working up the ball. We'll link another video that we've done, or like really understanding to help conceptualize it, and that's the little drill that I was just doing above my head and a couple other things that we've worked on. We just want to go over a couple progressions. The one thing I will mention is when Ryan is tossing, you'll notice, Ryan, if you'll kind of start going through the motion, you'll notice that Ryan tosses parallel to the baseline, right? His arm isn't in front, and this is key here, all right, because not only is it getting the ball up above his head, it's also helping with that hip rotation. All right, guys, so in the first one, what Ryan's doing is he's just focused on getting under the ball. You can tell here there's no follow through. Right, you see it's like massive, massive height, super trajectory, right? But here he's just focusing, go through that one more time, Ryan, with the racket moving and getting up. So we're getting this kind of arc up to the ball. All right, that is step one. You can tell, no problem finding height. We want height on this kick serve, all right? Number two, the second progression is he's going to focus on the finish now being parallel to the court. All right, he's actually gonna finish out to the wall, not out to the court. And this is extremely important because, guys, if you've been told that you need to throw like you throw a baseball, if you're working your arm out to the court, it's incorrect on a kick serve. All right, your arm isn't moving through. You don't want to rotate through. It's why a lot of us accidentally slice on the kicker. All right, it's really what we see when we throw the ball, where we have too much internal rotation. Our shoulders are coming around. All right, so Ryan shows a couple of those. You can see where the finish is, right? The wrist still breaks, but he's finishing out parallel to the baseline, and he's still getting that big spin. All right, and so the last one, and this has probably been the most beneficial for you, right? Because this is something that he can always come back to. If he feels like his serve is off, he can reel it back. And this is the Sampras finish, guys. You can all think about how Pete finished on the serve and the overhead, right? Where he led with the racket down and the elbow stayed up. All right, and so this is the last checkpoint on this kick serve, all right? And so from here, he's gonna hold that Sampras finish. Yeah, you can see now the tip of the racket is straight down to the ground. Yep, that's good. All right, so guys, we got our exercises, all right, and then we have the swing path and understanding where the racket needs to be going. It's important to know, like that arm being parallel, he's getting the rotation, the ball is staying above his head, and then he's working up with the appropriate finishes. One of the key elements on really making this serve work is understanding that you have to get into the court when you're tossing behind you. All right, so a lot of us out there, right, when we're kicking the serve, we do a pretty good job of getting the ball behind us, but then our jump isn't really leading anywhere. Ryan's serve, we'll take a look and go ahead and run through one more time, Ryan. What you're gonna notice here is that when he leads in, he's still going out into the court. Although the ball was behind his head, he still is into the court. So that makes it tough, right? You've got to time this toss so that it's still staying behind you as you lean into. But the way I've always thought about it, all right, is if I'm going behind me, I'm already leaning in underneath it, right? So then I'm just jumping, I'm moving with that toss, allowing the legs to kind of power through. All right, so that is important. The second thing that you're gonna note as Ryan runs through another serve, go ahead, and is that Ryan is landing diagonally. All right, he's going into the court, but he's going out where he wants his target, where his target is going. He's not landing forward. It's not like a flat serve per se. He's really making sure that his launch path, his trajectory is going diagonal. All right, and Ryan, I didn't teach you this. All right, Ryan's got a wonderful coach at George Mason, and he had a great tip that he's implemented that's really added some things. And this is about tucking the gut. You want to tell us what you're doing here?
So yeah, so when I go up to serve, it's almost like you're kind of doing a crunch in midair, but you're gonna tuck your chest forward to kind of force that ball to go right. It's kind of a mental cue with it.
Yeah. So if you can imagine this, the visual is like as he went up to serve, I kicked him in the stomach, right? And then he's tucking in. Yeah. But this tuck is helping this rotation. A lot of credit to Ryan's coach up at George Mason. That's a great tip. We'll take a look at a few of those now. We'll put a specific, we'll slow it down and let you get a really good look at where he's landing on the court, this gut punch, this gut crunch, okay, and the rest of the elements that make this serve so good.
So super quick and very important recap here. Take these exercises, work through the exercise with the kettlebell, work through the jumping up and throwing the ball, and definitely don't forget about the gut punch. And I think what you'll hopefully see is kick serves that actually kick, not just ones that jump up, but ones that jump up and out. Guys, as always, Nate and I, and even Ryan, just want to see you improve your tennis game. Inside of our community, that's what we're all about. We're going to send you custom video coaching for what you need. If you're a beginner and you watch this video, no offense, this isn't really going to help you very much. You're not ready for kick serves yet. You need custom coaching based on what you've got going on. So let us give that to you. Click the button in the link below. Jump inside the Player Court community. We'll give you all the instruction you need as well as pair you with local players. Press like if you enjoy how much taller Ryan is than we are. Press subscribe if you never want to miss Nate's face on the internet. And comment below about how upsetting it is that Ryan's so much taller than us. We'll see you guys soon.
Later.